Saturday. Happy Saturday. You are tuned in to the American Cream Show. I am your host, Hyacinth Henderson, and Cream is a financial educational show where I show you, teach you, lead you, guide you on ways to redefine the American dream with Cream. And Cream stands for credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset. And to my left, I got my main man, T. I know he was out handling business last week. Y'all missed him, so here he is. T, what's up?
What's up? Happy Saturday, everybody. As Heisey just said, I'm Tavaris Jones, licensed stockbroker, licensed life insurance and annuity broker as well. And I'm back this week. I missed last week. I missed the show, missed you all, but I was out taking care of some things, you know.
Is it blurry or is it me? I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah,
Does it look blurry?
Looks a little blurry.
Okay.
Facebook probably having some issues there, but
Is it blurry on Facebook too, or is it the camera? Let's see. Is it blurry, y'all? We got 6 viewers. Is it blurry? Tell us, is it blurry? Antonio, can you check your Facebook? No, on your phone, and then let's see if it's blurry. Here to see. All right. So what's up? So yes. How you feeling? Did we talk about that?
I'm feeling good. Today, great day. Woke up. Came to the office. Feeling good. Great
Feeling
week.
good.
Got a lot done. Yeah, productive. How about yourself?
I'm feeling fantastic.
Yeah?
I'm feeling fantastic.
That's awesome.
I had a donut a second ago, and I was feeling fantastic before I had before I had the donut.
Yeah.
But as soon as I ate the donut, my head started hurting.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you should have ate that donut.
We know
you
I
already
shouldn't.
you already bounce off walls.
Yeah.
Naturally. You know
I
what
wanted
I'm
some
saying?
a little extra this morning. But I'm gonna push through it. But I'm good. I'm feeling fantastic. Is it blurry on Facebook, Antonio? It is? Okay. So I wonder if there's a setting on the camera, because I think it's the camera. Taretha Hall says not really. Antonio, the camera. Yeah, I think maybe here in the front, or we might just rock and roll with it, huh?
I think we could just push
all right.
through it.
All right, it's a little blurry. Well, you know what? My face is peeling. So maybe the gods came through and was like, listen, we're going to blur that out a little bit. So let's go back to the face peel, right? So I went.
Donut. I don't even know if that's a donut or if that's your natural
It's
self.
just donuts. It's me. It's where I'm at this morning. It's just how I'm feeling. It is what it is, right? So I came in this morning. Well, let me tell y'all a little story. And there's some messages in here, some jewels and some gems. So it may sound like it ain't none, but there really are some in here, right? And I want y'all to get this really and truly. So my son started flag football, and I missed his game last week. And I was like, dang, because it was at 9:00. So it's like, all right, this week I'm going to miss the show. Guys, hold it down, because first and foremost, I'm a mommy, got to be on my mommy duty, and I cannot miss 2 games in a row. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm going to be there. But in Miami, it's still flooded. Parts of Miami, like my yard is still flooded, but that's a story for a different day. The field is also still flooded. So yesterday, a text came through and it said, no game tomorrow, fields are flooded. So I said to myself, you know what, let me come through. I can come do the show. Now let's go back to Wednesday when I went to see my girl Rachel. Shout out to my esthetician Rachel. And we did some procedures, and one of them was a face peel, a chemical peel. And that was Wednesday. And today I woke up and I was just peeling. Peeling. And
the peel took place on Wednesday?
Yeah, it generally is a few days. It takes a few days before it kicks off. It started a little bit last night. Mm-hmm. So my chin was peeling and I put makeup over it. I was like, Hyacinth, what are you doing?
No. Now, what's the benefits of a face peel? I know you're going to get into that.
The benefits of the face peel, right, is to promote. So I got micro needling and a chemical peel.
Okay.
And so it's to promote cell turnover, to slough off those layers of dead skin, to get more nutrients inside of the pores. That's what the micro needling comes in. And so really after it's finished peeling, like my face going to feel like a baby's bottom. Like it'd be lit. I'd be like, okay, Hyacinth,
okay,
come through, right?
Okay.
So started Wednesday. Anyway, got up this morning and I was like, oh man. And so for a slight moment, the thought was, girl, you cannot go on the internet with your face peeling like this. You cannot go on the internet. And then real quick, I was like, oh, yes, you can. Oh, we're going to do this.
It's a lot of growth there, because you get face peels quite often, right?
Right.
And I remember once upon a time, a few months ago, so it wasn't that long ago, you'll get your face peel, you'll come in the office, you'll be like, no, I can't have no in-person appointments, only telephone. My face, look at my face peeling, look at my face. I can't see no clients.
That's how it sounds?
Yeah, just like that. But today you came in with a whole new mindset. I like it.
Thank you.
That's growth.
Thank you. It is. I thought about that. I was like, and Tavaris is absolutely right. I would be like, nah, my face peeling. No appointments for a week and a half, just to be on the safe side. Yeah. Everything via phone. And this is prior to 2020. So, yeah, but this morning I was like, nah, let's do this. It is what it is. We're going to get this pill and this information too, because that is what it's about. And so I share that story just to share with you the conversations that I have with myself, and acknowledge that you are probably having conversations with yourself as well. And it's very important. It's important to assess where you are and where you've been. Don't let nobody, especially yourself, box you into, I've always done it this way, so this is just how it's done. I could have took the route of, listen, I get a pill and I go in hiding for 2 weeks and that is it. I did that once upon a time. Nothing wrong with that, but I've outgrown that stage. And now I'm like, all right, like I came in this morning and I didn't even announce that I got a pill. Usually when I see y'all looking back at me, I'm like, oh, I got a pill. I ain't say nothing. So y'all looking at me and I'm looking at you. So here we are. All right. So that's where we are. Let's get in. What are we going to talk about today?
So in the title, we say perspectives, priorities, and another P word.
Progress.
Progress.
Progress. For those of you who are just tuning in, you're listening to the American Cream Show. It's a financial educational show. I'm Hyacinth Henderson. My main man, Tavaris, is to my left.
Yo.
Yes, we are here. Today we're going to talk about priorities, progress, and process. Perspective. Yeah, it just came like at the... Yeah. All right, so let's get into this. Let me tell you, when I woke up this morning, and I was laying in the bed, and the bed was looking at me, and I'm looking at the bed. I'll tell you about this bed I bought a few weeks ago. We'll get into that another show. But as I was laying in the bed, Antonio's laughing because he knows the struggles that I've had with this bed. I opened Instagram and I saw that Cardi B was so excited that she had sold out her shoe. She had sold out her shoe, and people were like, I want the shoe, and and she sold out in several locations. So she was taking the Instagram and updating where you can get it. Try Macy's, try Jimmy Jams, and all these other places. And I thought like, people ain't had no money. Perspective.
Wow. So people have money. Yes. They got money for what they want it for.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
And it's a pair of shoes.
It's a pair of shoes. And nothing wrong with that. I believe, so let me just say, I have always believed, and I'm a firm believer, that people have money. People have money, and we spend it on what we want to spend it on. I'm not knocking you for buying Cardi B shoes, because if I wanted the shoes, I would have bought them too. Right? But what I wanted to bring that to the show, because oftentimes, and I think I posted this on Facebook today, like if you're around people who have this low consciousness, this poverty mindset, woe is me, 2020 is the worst year ever, ain't no money circulating, blah, 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 get rid of them. Because not only did Cardi B's shoes sell out, the PS5 sold out as well.
Definitely.
Right.
And go ahead. No, go ahead.
And I saw on social media again, someone asked, she said, oh, listen, I need a PS5 for my guy, and I'm going to pay $1,500 for it. I don't know how much they regularly cost. Yeah, but she was going to pay $15, and she did. And she actually paid two. She bought two of them because two people responded to her. So she spent $3,000, and she, according to how she appears on social media, she owns several businesses and things like that, so that wasn't a problem for her. Right? But I wanted to bring that here because sometimes we get stuck in our little silos, and in those silos are friends, family members, the thoughts in your own head, and you start really thinking and believing that ain't no money out here.
When it really is, right?
Listen.
And we had a few shows back where we spoke about, I believe that was 2 shows ago, maybe 3 shows ago, where we spoke about some hot ways to make money during the pandemic, right? Some ways where you can get your entrepreneurship on, right? Which stands for the E in cream stands for entrepreneurship, right? And we were speaking about different side hustles, right? Where you can start your own t-shirt company. This shirt that I'm wearing, started by my homie Precious. She started a t-shirt company during the pandemic, and she's doing pretty good. So that's just one example, right? You also have, what else was on that list? I remember real estate agent, because real estate is doing good right now. You bought up, I don't know, you bought up a few more. Y'all can check the show, right? Like I said, it was probably 2 or 3 shows ago. And the money is really flowing. But like I say, we as people, we pick and choose where we want to put that money at, And I love shoes. I wouldn't say I'm a sneakerhead, but I love sneakers. But at the same time, I feel like the same people that went out and bought those shoes or broke their neck to get those shoes and that PS5, do you do the same thing for assets, right? When it comes to acquiring assets, do you have that same hunger, that same ambition when it comes to leveling yourself up, right? Not knocking, video games or not knocking shoes, but at the same time, I feel like, imagine how your life would be if you had that same ambition towards something that's going to, add some money to your pocket,
Or you could do both.
Yeah.
I'm a believer because not everybody who bought the PSP or Cardi B shoes are broke.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But it's a lot of people that
Right. Yeah. So I just want to bring, that's where the perspective comes in, right? And so you have to ask yourself, as you get caught up in that frenzy, where am I in the food chain? Like, you always have to be, where am I in the food chain? Am I at a place where I am spending my last money for a PSP or a brand new pair of shoes? I don't have my emergency fund set up. I'm sitting there telling them I can't get my emergency fund together, but I'm buying things like this. Like, where are you in the food chain? Do you have your emergency fund together? Do you own several businesses? Do you have your investments working for you? What's going on? Like, where are you in the food chain? Because for me, it's not an either or thing. I can't sit here and preach an either or thing, because I was at Ruth Chris last night. So I'm not telling you I'm eating beanies and weenies at home, but my priorities are also in order. And so we want to bring that to the show. It's all about perspective. And if you're in a position, I also posted on my page today, being poor is a state of mind. And I noticed a lot of people didn't like that post. I'm cool with it because I know y'all looking. You don't have to like it, but you see it, right? And so sometimes people get offended by the word poor, and they try to own being poor. Like, it's not my fault I'm poor. I was born poor. I'm around people who's poor. And I'm like, first of all, let's take the ownership out of it. Why are you claiming poor?
That's
like
deep.
if you are offended by me saying being poor is a state of mind, then we got to go deep and ask yourself, why am I so connected and so emotionally tied into being poor that I am offended by Hyacinth saying that?
And do you really understand that your outer circumstance is created first internally? You follow me? So if it's around you, that's because you're thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? You got to really ask yourself and self-evaluate, why is it that I'm living this way, right? And how can I change it? Because we all have the power to shift some things in our life. We all have the power to create our reality. And poor, it's a mentality before if it's a lifestyle. You follow me? So if you switch your mentality, you can also switch your lifestyle. And poor is an acronym for passing over opportunities repeatedly.
Yes.
Right? So how many times you gonna keep passing over those opportunities? You know what I'm saying? Just switch it. Make a switch.
Make a switch. I love that you said that. It starts in the mind first.
Right.
It starts. So real quick, Antonio, the blurriness is getting to me. I don't got my glasses on and I still see the blurriness. So I believe that in the front of this camera, there is a little dial that you can gently turn right in the front where the green is, right? But you got to look at the screen while you do it and see if it gets better. Because nope, you were right. Nope. Come back there. Yep. Yeah, just turn that a little bit. Does that turn? Is that my imagination? Maybe not. Look at my fingers. Like this. Okay. Are we getting in the focus a little bit? No? Is it? I think, no. Okay.
Shout out to our engineer, Antonio Woodbury.
Okay. So we're just going to be blurry today.
He's doing his best on the ones and twos.
He's doing his best.
Trying to get it right for us.
He doesn't like attention. It's not like I brought him on camera. He's taking deep breaths right now. He's working through that. Thank you, Antonio. Woosah. All right. So, being poor, definitely, it's called poverty consciousness. And so when you change your perspective and when you say, you know what, maybe I am eating beanies and weenies. Maybe I am, sitting here and I don't have the things that I am worthy of, that I really and truly desire. What actions do I need to take so that I can change my reality? Let me tell you, at Ruth Chris last night, they turned half of their parking lot into outdoor dining. I was like, when y'all did this? I don't want to sit outside, but this is nice. They had tents up and everything like that. And I was like, when did this happen? But it was in response to the limits that are put in place as far as social distancing. And they're like, we got to get this money.
Yeah, creativity. Creativity is everything.
We're going to get this money.
Yeah. And I big up the Root Chris for doing that, because sometimes you can't look at what you don't have. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at what we do have. We got limited seating on the inside. Our capacity is a certain level, but we got this parking lot, right? So, it's important to add, I guess
Perspective.
and also like thinking outside the box is important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's real important, and that's a big player in this thing called this. Well, during this pandemic, you know, it's showing a whole lot. You know, and it can change your everything.
Listen, your entire world. A few shows back, I encourage the listeners to get out of your neighborhood and drive and visit somewhere else. Like, get out, because there's some stuff out there that you don't even know exists, and you have to know that it exists. So here is the thing: what we often call miracles is nothing more than a change in perception. It's a change in perception. It's like, well, if I look at it differently, if I switch my mindset from one of being scarcity or woe is me or closed-minded to, oh my gosh, things are always working out for me. This is happening for me. When things happen, you'll be like, that's a miracle. And really what it is your mind was primed to be open to receiving goodness. That's called an abundance mindset. So that goes back to that perspective.
Okay.
So if your perspective is not on point, your progress is going to be limited because you can't see.
Got you.
And you have to be able to see beyond where you are right now in order to get to the future. If not, if you can only see where you're sitting right now, if I could only see, oh my God, my face is peeling, I'm going in the hide, I'm not talking to nobody. Like, if I can only see that right now, I will be fooled to think that this pill is never going to be over.
That's vision. That's the true definition of vision.
Absolutely.
And not seeing with the two eyes that you was born with. You know what I'm saying? That's seeing with the third eye that's in the middle of, you know, it's in the middle of your head. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's interesting, and so I want to tie this all in because everybody knows we're in the state. I went and got my nails done yesterday. I said, Hyacinth, you out here looking raggedy, girl. Stop. Go get your nails done.
You had a good day yesterday.
I had
nails
listen.
done with the roof, Chris.
Tell me about it, honey.
Okay,
I came in here this morning feeling myself. Okay. Right. But when I was there, my nail tech, she was where was I going with this? So we talked about perspective and we talked about progress and we started talking about seeing the future, right? So we know that we have a new president-elect. We know that Joe Biden won the election. This ain't about politics. This is about just what it is. I believe that since Joe Biden won the election and they talked about how Trump did such a bad job with the pandemic and the COVID response, that he is going to get in there and say, well, I surely got to do better than he did. So some things going to have to change.
Right.
So me looking forward, I feel like, and I was talking about this actually last week and someone overheard my conversation in Houston. So it's a totally different story. But I feel like we're going to be going under lockdown again, right? And so sure enough, now a lot of the news is reporting that we're going under lockdown again. And Biden isn't even in office yet, right? So yesterday when I went to get my nails done, the nail tech and I were talking and she was just saying, gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do because last time when I was under lockdown, a lot of the creditors and things like that, they weren't willing to work with me. Some of them did, some of them didn't. And so I listened to her and I said, thank you for thinking about the future. Thank you for thinking not just in this right now moment, because a lot of times we get caught up in the right now moment. And so when the future happens, and it's so interesting, we get caught up in right now, but nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to go to heaven, but you want to only focus on right now. But when you stretch your mind and shift your perspective, you're like, okay, I know that I want to live at least till next month. At least to 2021. So some things are going to be changing. What am I putting in place so that when this lockdown comes, when they reduce capacity at restaurants or when they start making changes, how am I going to pivot? What space am I going to be in?
Right. Well, I can pivot and I can also be prepared for what's taking place.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's a planning. We should have said planning too, right?
That's another P.
And by the way, really quick before you jump in, T, I over tipped her yesterday. I over tipped her, and at the restaurant too, I made sure the waiter was over tipped as well. Because I'm a forward thinker. I understand that they may not be working in a few weeks, and so if you have it, if it's available to you, pay it forward. If you go and get a service or whatever, over tip them people. Now it's not your job to, because I can hear some of you saying, Hyacinth, I don't want to over tip them because they may and go buy a new PS5. That's not your business.
Right. And not only that, but we also got to understand the cycle of money, right? And also how the universe works. When you put it out there, right, you creating that flow. You add into the flow. And money's like it's a lot like the blood in our body, right? It flows through the veins. And if we have a blockage of some sort, then we got to go to the hospital. We got to take medications, get on our herbs and stuff like that. And money is the same exact way. So you always want to keep it flowing. I'm not saying everything that you receive, you want to pass it through. As it come to you, you want to keep a little bit for yourself and put it back out there so it can continue to flow. Because as you put it out there and give it to somebody else, somebody gonna hand it to you.
Yeah.
You know, it could be an idea that you come up with, right? So it may not be somebody literally putting money in your hand. You might come up with an idea to make you some money, right? You might get a better job of some sort. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, keep it flowing. Keep it flowing.
I love that. I love that you said that. And we're vibing today, T. Not only do we both have on African-inspired pants, y'all can't see them, but I walked in and T had on his African pattern Ankara. I think that's what we call them, Ankara pants.
I don't know. I know that was handmade. Got them in South Africa. I don't really know the title of them.
A little bit more this way. I'm sorry, I'm working you this morning. It's the donut. It's making me hot. Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah, that's good. Ooh. Okay, so yes, we're flowing this morning. I love that you talked about the perspective of sending money out to come back to you.
Definitely.
Like you have to send it out to come back to you. And of course, you have to be mindful of it. But flow is very important because if there is no flow, what happens? Then it's going to be like a hiccup and a buildup, right? So let's think about weight loss. At some point, most people either want to lose weight or gain weight. And what do they tell you when you want to lose weight or gain weight? You have to eat more. And most people think, especially if you're trying to lose weight, why are you suggesting that I eat more food if I want to lose weight?
Right.
Why are you suggesting that? And so the science behind it says, well, if you only eat limited amounts of food and give your body limited amounts of nutrients, it's going to think, wait a minute, I'm not getting any more. I'm not going to get any more. So let me hold on to this. Let me hold on to this because I don't know where my next meal is coming from. That also applies to your money. So when you hoarding money, when you got $1 million in the mattress and you don't want to have no properties and no businesses and stuff like that, because I don't want to own properties because I don't feel like dealing with a tenant. I don't want to have no business because you are creating a backup in the flow of your finances.
Right.
Because when you send that message to the universe, to yourself, to the abundance gods, whatever you want to call it, that I don't need no more money because with the money that I have here, I am hoarding it. You got that?
Or I need to hold on to this because nothing else is coming.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah, I need to hold on to this.
Yeah.
Let me hold this with my dear life because I'm scared.
Yeah.
Right? And nothing else is going to come my way. But when you do the opposite and let it flow out, it flows back to you, you know, in greater amounts as well, you know. So think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. So that's how many P's we covered so far?
I don't know. I think we covering them all.
Cover perspective.
Antonio got to scroll up. So while he does that, let's talk about perspective, priorities, and progress. Someone called. I had a call earlier this week with a new potential client. And it's I love it when people get on the call and they know exactly what they want. They know what they want so much that they want to tell me how to do my job. And I just be listening. So at that point, I'm just like, let me listen to you because you got it all figured out. So she's like, listen, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I know what I want. I'm ready to retire. I'm going to retire next year. I said, okay.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Love it.
I love that you know what you want. But I could tell because I couldn't get my questions in without her telling me that this is going to be interesting. Okay. So I said, okay, so you ready to retire next year? I don't really need to go through my spiel. How much money you got in your retirement account? Guess how much she said, T?
500,000.
She said, I got to check, but I think it's about 40,000.
40,000, and she want to retire next year.
She told me she's going to retire next year. She's going to. She want to. I am going to.
So it's solid. It's
permanent. I ain't working no more.
It's done next year.
No, I ain't going back to work no more.
How old
I said, okay. Oh, God, she's in her 60s.
Okay.
She's in her 60s. So I said, okay, good. I'm like, you know what? Everybody didn't put their money in the 401k.
Right.
Let me see if I can get a question in. Right. Okay. Do you have any properties? Anything? Nope. I just got my one house. Okay. How much money you got in the bank? About $3,000.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to retire next year. You got about $3,000 in the bank. You have your house. So how are you going to live in retirement? Well, that's why I'm calling you.
The planning. Oh, shoot.
For planning.
Wow. So it's the difference between planning and miracle working.
Oh, okay.
Planning and miracle working, right? Now, when you were just speaking about the nail technician and stuff like that, and you gave her credit on her forward thinking ability, right? That's super dope. She's thinking about, time that didn't come yet. Now, this lady, she's also thinking about a time that didn't come yet, but I don't know if she's thinking about it in its totality, right? Because I know she have bills or expenses of some sort, but how are those going to get paid? You know what I'm saying?
And she's not open-minded. Her perspective is, I've reached this age. Let's go back to perspective. I am this age and I'm going to retire at this age. And that is that. And that's a fact, Jack.
That's okay. So
perspective.
Right. And perspective, what I get from that is retirement doesn't have an age, right? It's more so a dollar amount as far as income, or a dollar amount as far as, hey, can I live off of what I have, right? So people say, I'm 65, it's time for me to retire, but your age don't really have anything to do with it. It's kind of like what I get from that is, well, I'm 21 years old, so I'm grown now. Not quite. Your character shows if you've grown. Your discipline shows if you're an adult. So it's the same thing. And I don't want to go there, but that's gonna open.
You don't want to go there.
Nah,
you don't want to open the can of worms, because if it was me, I open the can.
I'm
I love opening cans.
Yeah, I know it.
But not today?
Yeah, it can only be one can open on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, I wish I could understand that thought, like telepathy. Like, tell me what that thought is so I can open the can. Okay, but let's go back. So retirement, you said something good. Retirement is not an age. So the perspective that retirement is an age, you have to ask yourself, do I need a shift in perspective? Because it's not an age. It is absolutely not an age. Retirement, I'm going to give you a phrase. Retirement readiness. Ask yourself, and it doesn't matter if you're 20, 25, 40, 50, or 60. Ask yourself, how does your retirement readiness look? And I'm going to tell you something. The same thing that you focus on while you're working is the same thing you're going to be focused on when you're retired. And what is that? Income. When you're working, you want to know how much money is coming in so that you can pay your bills, pay your living expenses, and live the life of your dreams. And when you're retired, your focus is going to be how much money is coming in so that I could live the life of my dreams, pay my expenses, travel, don't take care of nobody's kids, and see the world. So when you think about that, when you put things into perspective about what retirement readiness really means, then we have to start asking ourselves, what am I doing to prepare for retirement?
Right. And what makes me ready?
What makes me ready?
Right. And it can't be, I'm tired, it's traffic, or, I don't want to do this anymore. I got a new boss. Your readiness has to include, or you have to think more so about, okay, ask yourself, if I was to start working right now, how will I sustain myself? And that's what it's all about, sustaining yourself. And we don't want you to go, when you retire, right, you don't have to decrease your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be that point. You know what I'm saying? You can put things in perspective now to where when you do retire, you can live the same lifestyle, even an even better lifestyle, right? Because you also have to keep in mind when you retire, which a lot of people don't really realize, since you don't have a place to go, you don't have a job to go to every day, you may end up spending more money on a daily basis because you got a whole day to yourself. You own your day basically.
That's a fact.
You own your day.
Yeah.
So you got restaurants everywhere. You got all these activities, especially, if you live in South Florida, you live in Atlanta, you live in LA, you live in New York. It's so much stuff to do. It's a field trip every day. And you're going to spend money on those field trips,
Every day is a weekend in retirement.
Yeah.
Right? Every day is Saturday in retirement. So think about that. Ask yourself, where am I? Where am I financially? Where am I retirement readiness? In what ways do I need to have a shift in perspective? Because once you change your perspective, then that's when miracles start to happen. And these things have been happening all along, but then you start to say, well, I have, a different perspective on it.
Right.
I have I was speaking to someone earlier this week, and they shared with me that they received a lump sum of money that they were anticipating.
Okay.
And it was in the form of a bonus.
Okay.
And they were so excited that for the bonus to come in. And when the bonus came in, the next day they had a major expense that was the exact same amount of the bonus.
Wow. Okay.
And so they were bummed. I can't believe this and this and this. And you know me, I'm like, oh my gosh, isn't that amazing?
I think it's a beautiful thing.
The money came in, because what if the money didn't come in?
Right.
Then you would have had this major expense that needed to be taken care of, and you would not have had the money. This is amazing. And they could not see it. but no, it's not. It's just not, because now I don't have, but you do have the bonus. Now you get to use. So for me, I'm like, oh my God, that's a miracle.
And with that mentality,
Yes.
right? With that mentality, do you think that person is open to receive another bonus? You think the universe gonna pass another bonus to that person if they wasn't thankful? Because it don't seem like they was thankful for receiving it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like giving thanks is everything. You know what I'm saying?
I can't say that the universe is or isn't going to grant them another bonus, but I will say that our thoughts have the potential to either progress us forward or throw up a roadblock. When I say a roadblock, I'm talking about a roadblock to manifestation. Because as we talked about, you have to give to get. You got to put it out there with the expectation and understanding that it is coming back. I'm keeping everything flowing. It's circulating, right? And so when things come into your existence and then your perspective is just one of scarcity, right? Because really and truly, that's what it's about. The scarcity mindset said, this is the only bonus I'm ever going to get. And oh my gosh, now that I had to use it for an emergency that needed to be taken care of, I'm upset about it. So that's scarcity, because you don't think you're ever gonna get no more money. That's just the only $15,000 that came in that you're gonna get, right? So I can't say that you're never going to get another bonus, but what I will say is your abundance train may have been moving at 100 miles an hour, and when you place limiting thoughts that come from a scarcity mindset, when you place limiting thoughts on that train track, that's like a train going 100 miles an hour or 1,000 miles. How fast do trains go?
They go real fast.
However fast they go, going fast as they can, and all of a sudden something comes in the way and jumps on the track. Now, it may not, depends on how strong it is. It may derail the train, or it may slow the train down.
Right.
So we're not really talking about trains. We're talking about your thoughts. We're talking about your progress. We're talking about your manifestation. We're talking about your abundance. We're talking about all of these things, because you got to think about it in that way. Are you mocking me over there?
I'm talking in my like I'm being a visual for
okay,
the people.
yeah, okay.
I'm like, yeah, we're talking about the
forwardness, the progress. So I really want you all to get that and think about that and ask yourself. I saw you moving. I'm like, yo, this what we doing today? I want you to get that and ask yourself, how am I throwing up a roadblock on my my journey to progress? Where am I throwing up roadblocks? Where am I throwing up roadblocks on my journey to progress?
Because a lot of times we get in our own way. You know what I'm saying? And once we get in our own way, we're so quick to point the finger at outside people or outside circumstance, when we should be really looking within, you know, and asking ourselves, like, man, like, how did I put myself into this? How did I lead myself here? Right? Because just like you led yourself there, I'm here to tell you, you can lead yourself out of it.
Yeah, man.
Right? With just a switch of thinking, a switch of mindset, a strategy. Because life is about chess, not checkers. You ask yourself, am I playing checkers or am I playing chess? You know, and just switch it up. Switch it up. You got it.
You say a lot of times we get in our own way. All the time we get in our own way. It is only us who stands in our way. That's it. Yes, things may happen, but the things that happen are just there for us to figure out what you gonna do, how you gonna pivot. What are you gonna do? You gonna stand here and be like, okay, now I guess I gotta stay here. I gotta lay down.
It's a test.
It's a test. It's training. What are you going to do to pivot? So think about that. Most times it is only you. I like to say all the time, it is only you who is blocking you from your destiny. It is only you from blocking you from the life that you deserve to live, you desire to live. Sure, people, places, and things may play a part, but they play a part to get you to wake up. I have a saying that I say, the universe whispers before it screams. It whispers. You get subtle nudges. Your intuition be talking to you. People come on and they tell you things that you were thinking, and you get all types of confirmation. But when you decide to ignore, when you make the choice to still ignore that information, guess what? It's like, okay, now I got to shake it up. I was whispering, but since you ain't hear them whispers, now I got to DDT you right quick.
I got to yell now.
I gotta knock you out clean flat, you know. And it's so interesting that you mentioned that we get in our own way, because I was thinking earlier this week, there is a thought process that says you have to, you know, almost break before you become successful. Like you have to go through like this really hard time and experience hard times and pains before you tap into your greatness. And I will admit, I used to subscribe to that school of thought.
Okay.
That yes, you got to go through it. If you're going through it, and it's just real, these tests and they kicking your butt and they DDTing you and stuff. It's only because greatness is on the horizon. So I thought about it this week and I said, that doesn't have to be the case if you listen to your intuition. It doesn't have to be the case if you listen to those nudges from your soul. It doesn't have to be the case if you take heed to the confirmation that you get along the way. Like I say it all the time on the American Cream. It may sound funny, but really and truly, I firmly believe by us getting on here on Saturday mornings and doing this work, we are answering the questions that somebody has. Mm-hmm. Somebody has been asking, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. I was thinking this. I was around these people and everybody around me is poor, and they were telling me I got to be poor because they poor and our family been poor for 20 years. And then I turned on Cream and Hyacinth said I don't have to be poor anymore. I truly believe that if you're listening to this show, whether you're on Facebook Live right now or if you're on YouTube, it is not an accident. It is not a coincidence. It is because in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you've asked to receive the information that you're hearing right now. So the question becomes, when we receive this information, are we in tuned enough to say, oh, shoot, that's the answer right there. It's like, I'm pulling this out of the matrix. I'm pulling this code out. I'm pulling it. Are we in tuned enough to do that? Or are we distracted? Are we distracted by TV? Are we distracted by drugs? Are we distracted by social media? I think they made marijuana legal for some more places too, right?
They also made in Oregon
crack or something, right? Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine, meth, and another one.
They made it legal.
Yeah.
And so when I hear that, when I read that, I'm like, dang, they making these distractions more and more legal. They want you to be so zombied out, doped up, off your A game that you don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh my God, I just got to go through this because I'm missing the signs. I am missing the signs. So I think that if we start to open ourselves up to receiving that and to operating in that, we will certainly see our lives change.
Definitely. We can learn so much from ourselves, and we can learn so much from other people, right? I feel like if we paying attention, and they say history repeats itself, and I feel like only if we let it. You know what I'm saying? It's important for us to, if you have a friend or a family member, or even, it may be somebody that you don't even know. You can learn from somebody's mistake on the internet, YouTube, social media, right? You can learn from the mistakes of others. Or when someone else makes some mistakes, sometimes we point at them and laugh at them. We be so quick to do that, right? Rather than saying, man, how can I avoid that? Because he's dropping the gym, and thanking that person for sharing that for going through that situation. Because lots of times we try to appear so perfect, right? We try to put our best foot forward and put our best situations out there. Right. But when somebody share a struggle that they went through, instead of laughing at that person, take the time to ask yourself, man, how can I use what he went through to benefit me? Right. How can I pivot and go around that situation? You know what I'm saying?
Scroll down, please.
Yeah.
What is this teaching me?
Right.
That's a question that we should always have. What is this teaching me?
And that can come from, something that you're going through, something that your mom going through, a close friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. We can learn from each other, and that can help the traveling process from where we at now to where we're trying to go. Yeah.
I love that. I love that, because here's the thing: we are not being exposed to circumstances and situations so that we could poke fun at them. We're not being exposed. Like, we're not hearing somebody's struggle story. We're not hearing somebody's success story so we can be like, oh, that's them. We're hearing that. We have a front row seat to that because there is a message and a lesson there for you. Like, you got to own that. When you own that, you're like, dang, like, why am I seeing this? Why do I keep seeing successful people talking about taxes? And for years, I've been saying, I really want to teach taxes, or I want to start a tax business. And most of the time, if you operating from a scarcity mindset, you'll say, dang, I keep seeing all these people talking about taxes. That's just telling me that there's no room for me to talk about taxes. But when you switch and you operate from an abundance mindset, you're going to be like, dang, how good is God? How good is the universe? How good is my ancestors? How good am I? How good is life that I keep getting all these signs nudging me, girl, start that tax business, start that tax consultation, start that. So it depends on mindset. That perspective is a game changer. there. So you always got to ask yourself, why is this being presented in front of me? Why is this being presented to me? And when you start to live and own in that space, then you'll see yourself start to step into your greatness. And you deserve to step into your greatness. Like, absolutely, hands down, you deserve to step into your greatness. Doretha Hall said, abundance train, let's keep it moving. Absolutely. How do we stop or slow down the pattern of getting in our own way? Great question. Self-talk and surrounding yourself. If you keep it down, then I can see when the new comments come in. Self-talk, and then surrounding yourself with people who have an open mindset, have an abundance mindset. Because here's the thing, if you listen to me and you hear the language that I use, it may be foreign to you, right? I mean, Thanksgiving is coming up. A lot of times at the Thanksgiving table, we're not talking about the abundance train and scarcity mindset and stuff like that. We're talking about, oh, girl, you can't do that. Your Uncle Joe did that, and he tried that. And let me tell you, Uncle Joe tried to start a business, and it didn't work out. So now, businesses don't run in our family. So self-talk is very, very important. Right. And then you have got to change your circle. Because it does you no good if you build yourself up, if you educate yourself, if you go out and you get the resources and the tools. You're like, I'm listening to Cream, I'm working on myself, I'm doing the self work, and then you take your new self and then you go engage with people who are stuck in their old self. It ain't a fit, baby. It ain't gonna work. So those are roadblocks that are consistently getting on your journey. You like, oh my gosh, I did all this work. I did meditation. I did my affirmations. You know, I paid it forward. I paid for the person coffee in line behind me at Starbucks. I did all this. I'm feeling fantastic. And you go over here and get around these people who are like, child, you paid for they what? You ain't even know how much they order was. Like, why would you do that? Like, if you listen, get away from them.
To me, it's kind of like losing weight, right? Because when you're losing weight, diet is everything, right? What you eat, what you put into your body. You can exercise all you want, but what you put into your body is essential, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to getting out of your own way. What you put in is essential. So like Heisey just said, your environment is important. Also, the music you listen to is important. The TV shows you watch, the books you read, all of that's important because you sinking that into your subconscious. You putting that in, and whatever's in you is gonna come out. So imagine if you putting all positivity in. Imagine if you putting all chess moves in. Imagine if you putting all knowledge, all intellect inside of you. It's going to come out. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, you're going to start to live. It's going to become a lifestyle. So you got to swallow that.
Yeah. Like my good friend, D. Bowden says, it starts with a decision. Yeah. So this the first thing is you got to decide. And once you decide all the things that Tavaris said, you got to do what you put in you definitely is important. I told y'all at the start of the show, I ate a donut. First of all, I don't usually eat before noon. I ate a donut and my head instantly started hurting. I knew that. We know that was going to happen. Like we knew that was going to happen. Ask yourself, what are you doing that you know is not going to bring you any good? It's going to limit you and keep you from where you are trying to go and where you are destined to go. That self-talk, those conversations, surrounding yourself with new people, it's some associations. You just got to cut them off. We don't even have to have a conversation about it. You know you trifling. You know we not a match. We don't got to talk about it no more. We don't have to talk about it no more because when you get engaged in that conversation, that's an energy exchange. And when you start engaging in that energy exchange, it's like it's going to bring your vibration down, and we don't have time for that. June says change the conversation. Indeed. And so what you'll do, you give a little warning shots, right? So I may change the conversation once. I may change it twice. By the third time, we're not having a conversation no more. Because now it's a roadblock in front of my train.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
There's a roadblock, and a lot of times we want to fix people. We want to tell them how we want them to do it because how we do it. I ain't got to do that. Listen, once you commit, you make the commitment, you make the decision, and then you start digging in and doing that work. Change your conversation. Kim Mel says, yes, changing my circle. It's golden, baby. It is golden. Not only will your vibration, your bank account will thank you. Will you change your circle? Now, it depends on if you change your circles for a circle that has an abundance mindset or a circle that has a scarcity mindset.
Right.
An abundance mindset and scarcity mindset, those are sneaky things that you can see. They come up and you like, oh, you scarcity minded.
So basically, when you adopt that positive mindset, when you adopt that abundance mindset, you automatically know a scarcity mindset when you see it, and you know an abundance mindset when you see it.
Absolutely.
And then you kind of gravitate towards the abundance, and you stiff arm the negativity. You know what I'm saying? So you want to keep that going. You want to keep that going because it's essential for like we said in the circle.
Absolutely.
Keep, you know?
So let me tell you how that may show up in life. Real story happened a few nights ago. Someone slid in my DM, right? So 2020 has been the year where I'm like, okay, I'm going to answer DMs, right? Many years I didn't answer DMs. A guy slid in my DM and the first thing he said was, wow, I'm surprised that you actually wrote back. Okay, that's one. That's one. Because you already telling me you aren't supposed to be here. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to engage you a little bit. And then he goes on to say, oh, we've been in the same room before. And I said, okay, why didn't you speak? Oh, well, there are not enough letters behind my name. Okay, that's two. That's two. So what that is telling me, and this is a real story, it just happened. What that is telling me is the old Hyacinth, depending on where I was, oh, no, you don't have to have a lot of letters behind your name. Oh, no, yes, I answer. I'm a nice lady. Nah, bro, we on two different wavelengths. We on two different pages. That's a mindset that says, I am not enough. I am insecure. I don't belong here. Let me call it what it is. Ladies, you got to understand that, and men too. Let me call it what it is. If a man says, I can't believe you talking to me, you ain't supposed to be talking to him. You got to see yourself outside of yourself. And so with that mindset, I just was like, listen, we don't got to keep having this conversation. I already knew a switch went on that said, honey, this
He said that for real?
I promise you.
Wow.
These are real things. These are real things. And it's okay. I'm not judging him. He still got some more work to do. Yeah. Like when you think about everything in life, think about it based on a vibration. Think about it based on, okay, if I'm vibrating at this level, and don't get caught up with, oh, I think I'm better than somebody or this and this. If I'm vibrating at this level, this is the language that we're talking. When you're in an abundance mindset, this is the language that we speak. These are the words that we speak. We don't say stuff like, oh, I'm surprised you spoke back. I expected you to speak back. I have an abundance mindset. I didn't go into something thinking that you were not going to speak back. That is a scarcity mindset. So you got to check yourself at the door. When you check yourself at the door and realize how you're showing up, you got to ask, where am I vibrating? Am I vibrating low? And then really and truly, when you want to start changing people and getting them to see your perspective, you got to dip that vibration. You have to dip your vibration to do that. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth the energy exchange? Is it worth the energy exchange? Go ahead. You burning up. You can't believe he said that.
No, self-work is so important. Like I know a lot of times in this society that we live in, we always saying self-work, working on myself. But I feel like that got to be more than just a slogan. You know what I'm saying? That got to be more than something that you're saying because it exudes. It come out your pores. You know how you're around somebody that around your uncle that's been drinking all day and you smell the alcohol just come out his pores. When you not working on yourself, right? When you don't think highly of yourself, it smells just like that cheap alcohol your uncle was drinking.
Absolutely.
And it's coming out on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to take your time to yourself, go in your quiet time on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? And uplift yourself. Give yourself some affirmations. Read some uplifting material. You know what I'm saying? See yourself mentally in a much higher place than you actually are. You know what I'm saying? And know that you deserve to be there. Before you open your mouth and speak to somebody else. Talk to yourself before you open your mouth and speak to somebody. Come on.
But Tavaris, see, you got to understand you're around that. You're around people who believe that this is the way. We believe that we do that. We pour into each other. Not only do we encourage ourselves, we encourage each other. Like but a lot of people don't have that. And I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying we understand that that's where they at. That's why we on Cream talking about it.
Yeah, you're right. That's why
he bothered. He can't believe a grown man. And see, here's the thing. Now he's telling somebody else ain't no good woman out there. He might be telling I was DMing Hyacinth and then she just stopped DMing me, bruh. You got some self work to do.
Yeah, I advise that young man. Myself and Antonio, we have a show on Wednesdays, and it's for men, right? It's for men because women are doing their thing. I take my hat off to the women, and myself and Antonio, we was like, you know what, man, we need to have something for the men, something where we can, push men to a higher level, right? We call it the Rise and Solution Show, right? To get men to rise and stand up to be all they can be. So men, that gentleman, and also men that may have that same mentality, you know what I'm saying? Tune in on Wednesday nights at 7:30 on this very show. Right, and it'll be very, very, very fruitful.
And I think you should take that to Wednesday's show. I think that's what you should take, and you should talk about self-worth and affirming yourself as men and building yourself up and it not being foreign.
Tonio, we got to do something.
And it
with
not
that,
being
man.
foreign. He is so bothered by that.
We gotta do something with
Child. Kim says, I was a people pleaser operating on a lower vibration, trying to help. Now I am here. Yes, yes, yes. I felt every word. Yes. And we can get stuck in that space, because let me tell you, I was in that space. I was in that space for a long time. I was probably still in that space. I was in that space in January 2020, baby. Still trying to please people. Maybe even March of 2020. Like, I'm still coming out of that space of pleasing people. Now they will tell you, I tell you, it depends on how I feel. It depends on my vibration. It depends on how I feel. I know what you want, what you got going on, but I can't please you. I got to first please me. So that is a very real thing. And a lot of times we're conditioned to be that way. We're conditioned to put ourselves and our needs and our desires second, and then put everybody else first. But here's the thing. That's a mismatch. That's a struggle. And when you know that you're operating, when you know that you are trying to please other people, what you start doing, as Kim said, is you're operating on a lower vibration, because your vibration, it feels fantastic. It feels good. Like, when you're vibrating on where you're supposed to be, you feel light as a feather, and then you continuously raise your vibration. But when you're trying to please other people, you're like, dang, I'm trying to go up, but it's like, quicksand's bringing me back in. Nah, we got to release that. One of the things that I always encourage people to do, buy yourself some flowers. Today is the day. Go out and buy yourself some flowers. Trader Joe's, I love Trader Joe's for flowers. $6.99, $12.99, $5.99. Get you some flowers. Buy yourself some flowers. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Big up yourself. Don't wait for someone else to do it. And if you find that you're around people, if you find that when you're bigging up yourself or cheering yourself on, the people that you are around are like, why are you saying that? You think you all that? Oh, you just too much for yourself. Move. You're in the wrong circle. Move. Because when you big up yourself, your crew should be bigging you up as well.
Right.
They should be bigging you up as well. Same here, totally focused on growing me. Now, I love this. I told y'all 2020 is a transitional year, and we are transitioning into ourselves, growing, living our best lives. Aretha says, I love Trader Joe's too. It's so fantastic in there. You got to be careful though, because you'll break the budget in Trader Joe's with little stuff. It's just like, oh, it's only $3.99. It's only $5.99. Before you know it, it's $100 at the register.
Right. And bigging up yourself, right? That don't have to come with putting somebody else down. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be one or the other. You can raise yourself up and still, respect others, and still see others as a solid human being. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. I
but
think that was important.
Who said that it does?
No, I just wanted to put that out there, because sometimes
Okay.
people be like, I'm just bigging myself up. It's a thin line between cocky and confidence. So I feel like it's a thin line between.
Okay. But is that
one
on
as
me?
well.
Am I responsible for how you receive it or how I say it?
But people can come off as overly, putting themselves in the air, and like I said,
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, you can come off as overly like, well, I'm up here, and you like the guy that in your DMs. I'm not sure how you responded to him, but from what you're telling us, you didn't overly say, get out of here.
No.
You're not on. Get on. I'm here and you there. Go somewhere.
Okay. So there is an No, I didn't, and so
like a stray dog.
No. I didn't answer that question. Then he moved on to asking me where I lived. Oh, Broward County. What part of Broward County? I'm like, bruh, I'm from Miami. Like we very secretive. We don't do that. I'm not finna tell you the city, the street.
Who is this guy? Like what's?
I love y'all. I love my crew. I always say, listen, my friends, my crew, they be ready to bust heads. T like, where you at? Who is he? I love that. And that y'all set the standard. Thank you. Feel so protected. But bigging up yourself. I don't think there is such a thing as being overly confident. I think that confidence and arrogance are different. And sometimes people confuse the two, right? So I could big up myself all day long, but not being arrogant. As you know, like you said, he doesn't know you. I'm very down to earth, very relatable. Yeah, the most animated you'll see me is more than likely on social media. You got to know me about 6 months before I act this way in public. But big up yourself, like pour into yourself, love yourself. And when you do that so much, you aren't waiting for someone else to do it. And then here's the thing. When you do it on a consistent basis and when you know your worth, when someone else does it, then it's not like they're filling a void. You know what I mean? Because oftentimes, let's talk about the people who are connected to people who come in as wolves in sheep's clothing. What do I mean by that? They come in with all these lots of words, you know, all this foolishness, and under it, they really a stray killer, right? But since you don't know who you are, since you don't talk nice to yourself, since you don't know your self-worth, you got sucked in by him saying, "Girl, you so beautiful." Like, okay, I'm aware of that. Like when I go to my mailbox, it's action. Like I understand that. But if you don't do that, if you don't know who you are, you don't know your worth, somebody, as soon as they give you a compliment without you knowing what that compliment is rooted in, then you're going to eat it up. And then when you eat it up, you might be like, dang, I ate that and it was poison.
Right.
It's almost like it looked like applesauce, but you remember your grandmother used to put the peel under the applesauce?
Yeah.
So it looked like applesauce, but it was poison. So it's so important, the importance of really knowing who you are, bigging up yourself, self-loving, self-worth, and then shifting that mindset from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. It's more than about money. It's a game changer. Like your entire life will change. You look like you want to say something. I can see your thought in the front of your forehead.
I'm just all over it. I'm listening to you.
He's still on. God, I'm not gonna tell you who the guy was in my inbox.
No.
Okay, between you and Bobby. Oh my God. But
Long as you tune in.
Come back.
I get where you're coming from though. I get it 1,000%. And you want to know your self-worth, but you don't want to treat people like stray dogs. You know how it is when you jogging or you somewhere else, you're in a awkward community and you see a stray dog. When I was a kid, I used to walk to school and stray dogs. You throw rocks at them, you pick up a stick and all that stuff. So you don't want to treat people like a stray dog,
right?
But you also want to know your value. You know what I'm saying? You it's important, and I feel like it's a thin line between the two. You know what I'm saying? You still want to treat people like you want to treat. As you see your value, you want to treat people like you see their value too.
Let me ask you a question, because you're confusing me right now. So
okay.
Let me ask you a question. Do I big up myself?
Yeah.
Do I wait for y'all?
No, you don't.
No. At all. Not a little bit. Okay, I do that. I do y'all job for you. Right. Okay. Now, at the same time, do I big up y'all?
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. 100%. Even when you're being hard on yourself, I'm coming in and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm having a hard time understanding what you're saying when you say don't big up yourself too much, because you may.
No, I didn't say don't big up yourself
what
too
you
much.
Said?
I'm saying it's a thin line between the two. So when you big up, when you ride yourself, say you bigging yourself up, you don't want to become overly way up here to the point where you treating people like they way down there.
Do naturally. I do that?
Not saying that you do that,
but it's
I'm just saying because it's an audience watching us.
Okay, I was gonna say it's possible. I just feel like that's coming from a place of scarcity.
No. But it happens though.
Okay,
it happens a whole lot.
But it is possible to big up yourself a whole lot.
Definitely.
And others.
Right. But
okay.
Without, you know what I'm saying? Hey, no. Like you said, you treated the dude okay. You respond. You ain't tell him to, hey man, go get on down. You ain't tell him to go down the street. You ain't throw a rock at him.
No, I didn't.
Verbally, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. So you doing a good job.
You can do both.
Out there.
You can big up yourself and big up others.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Right.
And
I
you
said
agree?
That.
You did?
I said that before you said that.
I may have zoned out. You know, sometimes I'll be like, the body be here, but the mind be. In the song.
It's showing right now.
It's okay. My headscarf is tight. Give me a
And you had that donut too.
And the donut. And I'm hot. Okay. All right. What else we got? So we talked about, let's go through. I know my daddy downstairs like, hi, Sid. What are you doing today? Cheers. Let's go through the comments. All right, so we got Kim Mills. Thank you so much for tuning in and interacting and engaging with us. We love that. We appreciate that. I'm glad this resonated. Miss Hall, Doretha Hall, thank you as well. I'm glad that this resonated with you all. Who else do we got? Kim, Doretha, June, Danny. Watch the familiarity conversation. It's a setup. It's a broken mindset. I love that. June Daney, that's my girl. She's always here. Carrie Johnson Jr., I'll pick up the playback later. I have a meeting. Keep inspiring, Cream Team. Thank you. Thank you for coming to watch the playback. You can watch the playback on Facebook and as well on YouTube as well. All right. The Abundance Train. Let's keep it moving. I'm going to stay that all week. The Abundance Train. Thank you for gifting that to me, Miss Doretha Hall.
Hey, Miss Hall. How you doing?
Yes. All right, let's see. So the ladies showed up and showed out today. I love that. Curtis Kegler, thank you for being here. Real talk, okay. Create flow. That's the only way to do it. The only way to elevate is to create flow. Who else we got, team?
We got Damian Nelson.
Yes.
We got I think that's about it. Oh, Miss Sylvain.
Yes.
Appreciate you stopping by, Miss Sylvain. Denise Ward.
Miss Ward says I got a pill as well, but I had to hide. I understand. I hid for many years. This is my first time, and I've been getting pills for years. My first time ever. I'm fresh out. I'm like, hey, what's up? Say something. I double dog dare you to say something.
Literally. She was feeling so good she bought donuts in the day.
And I don't be with the donuts. But anyway, yes. So you'll get there. Own where you are now, and then so you seeing me is an example that it could be you, right? It's not, oh man, Hyacinth did it, but I could never. Remember, it is Hyacinth did it. One day that may be me. It may be tomorrow, maybe next year, maybe in 10 years, but it is possible. Lynn Vincent, happy Saturday. Thank you. Miss Dorothy Henderson, happy Saturday. Good morning. June, Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Who else we got? It's blurry on Facebook as well. My girl D. Is that Diana? Can you scroll up a little bit? Diana, my girl Diana from Aruba. Yes, she says it's blurred. We're going to fix it. Well, Erica Owens. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Here's the thing. Because you know I believe in signs. Y'all know the camera was working just fine at 8 a.m. Just fine. Then when I get here, maybe the signs, right, said we're going to blur that thing out a little bit high since it's peeling. We just going to, because we didn't do anything to the camera. But we'll see how it is for Mr. Henderson's next show. All right, who else? That's it? That's it. Love the TT. Love the TT. Oh, I like that.
Appreciate it, June.
Yes. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the American Cream show. You can always catch the playback on the Henderson Financial Group page. You can always catch it on YouTube. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the American Cream podcast. That is wherever you listen to podcasts. And after you subscribe, if you could do me a favor and leave a review, that would be fantastic. It will help others find the podcast as well. And while you're on Facebook, before you catch the next show, make sure you hit that share button. Share. Don't get caught up on the likes. Remember, they're looking. So share it. I appreciate your shares. We appreciate you for being here. And more than anything, we appreciate your commitment to yourself and your financial growth, to elevating and educating yourself.
Learn yourself, love yourself, lead yourself.
I like that.
Checking out. We'll see y'all next week.
Okay, he got a little, what's it called? A sign off. He got a signature. I like that. I'm going to clown you when we get off the show.
I know you are.
Okay, all right. Peace.